Hey everybody, it's your boy Merciful Kev back again with another video, and we're going to be diving into FBC Firebreak, the new co-op shooter set in the world of single-player game Control. I was hyped for this one, looking forward to playing with like quirky weapons, paranormal activity vibes, team-based chaos. Kind of sounded like something I would really be into. Been wanting some type of co-op shooter fun like that, one that I could like play with friends or even some viewers from going live. Have some live viewers hop into the game with me and play some cooperative gameplay with me. That's kind of, at least that's what I was thinking about. It's kind of similar in the sense to the game that I previously talked about in my last video, which was about Wildgate. If you haven't already, go check that video out. But after playing this game on console, I don't know, I feel like a little bit let down, so is it a total miss, or is there still some fun to be had in this game? I don't know. Well, I'm gonna break it down, the good and the bad, whether this game is worth your time. So let's get into it. So let's start with the good. And first thing I want to say about the game is that it looks so beautiful. To me, it looks so beautiful, at least on the Xbox Series X. It looks so beautiful. The UI is simple. The game itself is just simple. Now, that right now is a good thing. It could also be a bad thing, but we'll get into that later, right? I like how there's like 3 classes that you can use. There's the Fix Kit class, the Splash class, and then the Jump class. Well, obviously the Fix Kit allows you to use like this big massive wrench that you could just whack things with it, and you'll be able to fix things like that. And you'll be able to use like a water hose type of weapon to put out fires and stuff like that, or heal your teammates, because in this game you getting wet heals you, right? And then the Jump class, which basically is using electricity to fix things, or to connect with water to electrocute enemies and stuff like that. So you get the point. But each class has its role, and you need all 3. If you try to get into a game with just 1 or 2 of those, or if all 3 of you guys are the same class, or 2 of you are the same class, you're just at a huge disadvantage, right? So having these 3 classes is very important, and it's simple. Each one has a simple job to do, and it's pretty obvious what you need to do once you get into the game. I like how they use a lot of elements in the game, like fire, water, and electricity. And again, this synergizes with the 3 classes that I just spoke about, right? So it really allows you to work together, like huge teamwork together, in making sure that everybody is doing what they're supposed to be doing. Obviously putting out fires, healing teammates, or working together to use the elements to damage enemies. Right? Sometimes there's certain enemies where you kill them, and when they die on the floor, they spread fire everywhere. So like, obviously the Splash Kit class you're gonna have to be on top of that, or else we all go up in flames. We all go on fire. And I tell you right now, when you burn in this game, it is brutal. And again, if you don't have somebody healing you on the spot, then you have to run back to the shower. Yeah, I said shower. You gotta run back to the shower and get healed in the shower. It's so crazy. That's another thing that I really like about the game, that it's wacky, right? And the missions are wacky, right? Like there's a mission called Paper Chase where you have to destroy like 1,000,000 sticky notes, and then you face a big boss, a sticky note boss at the end. And he's literally just massive, full of sticky notes. Kind of like that one commercial. I forgot what that commercial is. I'm pretty sure. Let me know down in the comments if you know what commercial I'm talking about. Where there's this guy in he's like a sticky note man, and he's basically pasting sticky notes everywhere at a birthday party for some kids. That's basically what it reminds me of. But well, yeah, I really like how, like I said, the game uses elements to make all 3 classes work together, and it just allows everyone to, it encourages experimentation, makes the fights feel a little bit more chaotic, but at the same time a little bit tactical, because you have to really think about what you're doing with your team. And the guns, like I think I already mentioned it, but I just gotta mention it again. Like the guns feel so good, so good. Like, I think what's that submachine gun that I was basically using the majority of the time. It's basically kind of like an MP40 from, yeah, right, an MP40 from like World at War, Call of Duty. Like, the gunplay is so good that I can see them making, a competitive FPS shooter in the future. I mean, I doubt they will, but just the way it felt, because a lot of games when they make first person shooters, it just feels wrong, it feels clunky, right? That's why we always go back to Call of Duty when it comes to that scratching that FPS itch, you know what I mean? But the guns in this game just felt so good, and they even had some like wacky guns, man. Like, I remember going into a room and I found this gun that just looked really weird. You couldn't stow it or anything, you could only like put it down. Like, you couldn't like stow it away. Like, you could put it down or pick it back up, but it basically like shoots sparks at enemies. It was very, very like high in damage. The damage I was putting out was like destroying this one like little mini boss that I was facing. And yeah, it was just like this wacky gun, but the guns are just so good. They feel so good in this game. You do have your guns that are a little bit weak, kind of like the like I said, the MP40 like that I was using. But if you could have a shotgun, you could have, I think they had like this kind of like Magnum revolver type of handgun that packs a punch, like one-shotting everything. You just have to be precise with your hits. So yeah, definitely love that. They stayed true to the making sure that this live service game, because this is basically a live service game, but they're not following your typical live service tactics that a lot of other games like to do. They're avoiding daily logins. They don't have a battle pass, or those limited time events, and trying to like basically trying to make you feel pressured to playing the game like endlessly over and over and over again. Like, they value your time. The game values your time. You're able to play the game at your own pace, however you want. You're not paying anything to. There's no pay to win. Tactics in the game. So all of that is really, really appreciated. Now, there is a thing that you can buy, but it's strictly cosmetic stuff. All the upgrades and stuff that you need for your loadout, you have to earn in the game. So that's awesome. And then to continue talking about them valuing your time, again, it's so important. A lot of games mess this up. So the matches or the sessions that you play are very, very customizable. You're able to tweak, the clearance, which is basically how long you want the session to be. You're able to tweak the threat, which is basically the combat intensity, and you're able to tweak the corruption, which is basically like the enemy behavior, or how random the behavior is of the enemies that you're facing in the session. So it's just really good that you're able to tailor all this to however you feel like playing. Maybe you want to hop in for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20, 30 minutes, however long, and get some rewards and then get out quickly, you know what I mean? So like, you're even able to play solo. I did play a solo match. It wasn't that bad. Obviously I'm somebody who likes to play multiplayer more than anything. But yeah, it's just really good that they allow anyone and everyone to basically play the game however they feel like playing it that day. Now, as for the cons, the number one thing I have to mention is the voice chat. I know, look, I'm going to give Remedy some grace. This is not their type of game. I appreciate them giving it a try. I definitely do, right? This is not the type of game that they usually make. But at the same time, it's like, how do you create a co-op game where it is crucial for you and your teammates to work together? Communication is huge. I don't even think you could ping in the game. I don't even think you could ping in the game. But there's no text chat, there's no voice chat, there's nothing. You literally cannot communicate with your team. That takes so much of the experience of what this game should be away. Like, what? And like that, like, you would think automatically, if anybody were to present this game to you, or you were to see gameplay of this game, like, you would assume that there's voice chat, but there's no voice chat in this game. So that is something that needs to get rectified, like, immediately. The matchmaking. At first, I was really struggling to get into a match. And the way I did it was by selecting a job, because there's like missions that you get to choose or whatever. I selected a job, but then I realized that the first job I had to do solo because it was kind of like a little tutorial type of thing. So then after that, I still tried to select a job, but then I ended up getting matches. But then two matches, my first two matches, it put me into a. I keep saying matches, I mean session. It put me into a session both times with one other player, and that one other player was playing as the same class as me. So we literally were one man short, and we had no one to heal us. There was no one with the splash kit. So we were just dying over and over and over again, over and over and over again. And I was just hoping that the game would have like a open matchmaking type of feature, kind of like in the Division 2 when you're in a mission and you're down a man and you have matchmaking on, it's running. Anyone at any moment in the session or in your mission can join on in and help the team. So I stayed in with hopes that would happen with this game, and it was just not like that. Like, we basically had to fail, undermanned and playing as two of the same classes, which is freaking crazy. So, and then I tried matchmaking again, and I finally was able to matchmake with two other people, finally, which was great. Now, those two people, they were both wearing the splash kit class, and I was the fix it class, which isn't that bad, to be honest. It's still pretty good, because the most important one is the splash kit. Like, you need a healer. You need a healer, or else you have no team. You're gonna die, But then when I joined them, I basically joined them on their session ending. Like, I joined and we had to leave. We had to call the elevator already. I was like, what? So yeah, they need to rework this matchmaking, because it's just horrible. It's horrible. I can already see people, diving in this game within the first hour or two and already just getting sick of it. So yeah, and there's like little minor bugs and stuff like that. I think I was trying to inspect one of the weapons and it just wasn't showing the weapon. When you're able to like rotate the weapon around and look at it, it wasn't even doing that. I mean, that's not really a big deal. Don't really care about that. But, and then lack of content. There's like 5 missions to do. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of things to grind for. There's a lot of things to unlock. You have to do those same 5 missions over and over and over again to unlock everything that you're able to unlock. I just feel like you're going to easily get burnt out in this game. I don't really see somebody grinding this. So yeah, I really hope that they add some content in the future. So there you have it, guys. The good and the bad for FBC Firebreak with your boy Merciful Kev. Let me know down in the comments below if this is a game you feel like you would definitely play with your friends. Are you a former Control game fan? Are you having multiplayer matchmaking issues just like me? Are you having it on console like PlayStation 5, Xbox? Are you playing on Steam? Let's get down in the comments. Let's conversate again. I love replying to all you guys. I really do. So don't be afraid to get down in the comments. So make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell notification for more videos like this. I do try to stream every Sunday, so I'll see you guys in the chat as well. Love you all. God bless you all. Peace.